Hi, this is Monty from Moat Park Vehicles, and here's another one of our detailed vehicle appraisals on a car that's just recently come into us. Now, this is a gem of a car, really. It's a beauty, in my opinion, a really lovely car. Spent 14 years working for the brand, so I do like a few Mercedes-Benz. So it's our 2012 Mercedes-Benz A180CDi Avantgarde. It's in automatic transmission. Really nice spec car. It's got the panoramic louvered roof, folding mirrors, active park control, which actually parks the car for you, or to a point you've still got to do a bit of the braking. It does a bit of the steering, but we'll talk about that in more detail later on. Lovely car, as I mentioned. It's a one owner from new, full Mercedes-Benz service history, so 6 service stamps already done at Mercedes-Benz. Long MOT. Have a look at the MOT history. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, as I mentioned, full Mercedes-Benz service history and one owner from new. Now, I've babbled on enough. I'm going to briefly walk around the car and give you a more detailed view very shortly. Now, this particular colour is called Jupiter Red. I didn't do it on the older versions of the A-Class. They only done these on the sort of facelifted 2008 onwards. Don't get too many of these cars in this particular colour as well, and especially in this condition. Okay, I'll give you a more detailed view very shortly. Now, I will show you inside the car as well. Now, these videos tend to take about 10 minutes long or so. Apologise if I'm boring you, but they are done there for a reason. And the reason, one of the reasons I'm holding the camera on the number plates, please feel free to do any checks you want to do, MOT checks. If you want to, that's where the car was originally registered. If you want to ask the dealer, I don't know how much information they'll give you, do with data protection, etc. Any kind of service history you want to know about the car, but we got most of the documentation with all the service documentation with the car as well. Okay, now the reasons we tend to do these videos, it's all about trust, honesty, integrity. We try and tell you how it is. You know, whether you are 2 miles down the road from me or 200 miles away, I don't want to waste anybody's time. You know, more your time than my time. But we've all done it before. We've looked at some pictures. The car looks absolutely stunning. You go and have a look at it and it's nothing like in the pictures. Now, these videos aren't made to try and pick holes in our cars. We just tell you exactly how it is. You know, a few stone chips here and there, what's been touched up, any kind of hairline scratches. I think a lot of customers knowing, even though a car's done 34,500 miles and it's 7 years of age, it's not going to be brand new, guys, but it is in very good condition in my opinion. That's only my opinion. Okay, now we'll tend to start on the driver's side front, and we'll zoom in. That's where you can see the parking sensor. It's called active park control, and we can always demonstrate it to a customer, show you how the car parallel parks itself. But again, this side, driver's side, absolutely fantastic. You've got a couple of little stone chips on the bumper here, but they've been touched up, but they're minute, really are small. Okay, alloy wheels look in a really good condition, no kind of scuffs or corrosion, anything like that on the alloy wheels. Tyres in really good condition. You've got some Dunlop sports on the front. I think you've got some Pirellis on the back, and these are the sort of Mercedes original type tyres. That's what the manufacturers, they have a certain guideline for their tyres, and these are like the Mercedes-Benz originals. I think Continental do the same in Pirelli, etc. So we'll try and go down the side of the car. Not too sure how much you'll pick up. The colour of the car is quite dark red, or like a pillar box red. Sometimes in these photographs or these camera shots, they tend to look a little bit pinky. It's just unfortunate, really, just sometimes how the light comes off. Okay, let's just give you a view down the rest of the driver's side. Believe me, it's in really good condition. Again, that's only my opinion. It's not brand new out the showroom. I'll show you a couple of little stone chips that we touched up. Be hard pushed to pick them up on the camera, to be fair, and I'm struggling even to pick them up myself. I think there was 1 or 2 up here. I think there's 1 along there. Tiny little stone chip, if I can try and zoom into it, maybe not. And a couple on here, but again, they're minute. Plenty of tread on the tyres. There'll be some shots of the tyres as well. You've got 2 keys of this car as well. And let's just go around the back wheel and tyre. So you've got Pirellis on the back. Again, I think that's just a little bit of, yeah, it's not a mark or anything like that. It's just where We've got some of the water, I think it just got caught over there when I was pulling in. But again, got lovely alloy wheel, no corrosion, nothing like that at all. And looking at it, I think it's had rear brake pads and discs not too long ago. Okay, tyres, as I mentioned, plenty of tread. Now looking along the back of the car, there's a couple of little marks on here, nothing major, but just a couple of little marks. Now I can probably see in the camera it looks a little bit pinky. I think it's the floor that's giving me a bad reflection. But just along here, apologies if it does look a bit pinky, it probably changes when it focuses. There's a tiny little bit of a mark here, but it's again minute, very small. If I took a picture of even here, you really wouldn't pick it up, let alone anywhere else. You've got a couple of little hairline scratches that are along here. Again, maybe the camera might zoom in, but just along here, but nothing major. Okay, let's open up the boot. You can move the parcel shelf back. Now this has got something called an Easy Vario pack, I think it was called. So you've got a flat compartment along here, and all you do is just pull the handle, pull it towards you, and then that flicks down, and now it's no longer flat, you've got a ridge. Okay, that's if you need to store anything, any extra room in there. But also when you've got this all the way up to the top, you've got spare wheel, by the way, which you don't get a lot on a lot of cars now. You've got a bit of extra room down here. You can take off the rear parcel shelf, and that slides in diagonally along that gap there, but we can always show someone how it's done. You've got 60-40 split rear seats, little cubby hole on the right hand side, and on the left hand side you've got all your tools. Let me just show you anyway. So what you got a first aid kit, warning triangle, your jack. Looks like none of it's even been out, which is great to see anyway. Close that back up. Apologies there if that's made you a little bit dizzy. It normally does when I look at the videos again. So we're going to go down the passenger side. Apologies, we're up to 7 minutes now. So I'll try and rush through this. Now I'm going to try and move the camera nice and slowly. Hopefully you can try and pick up some reflections. All it is these grass and these pillars here. Now we always tend to do these with HD cameras. We don't use you know, just really low quality, sort of some of the old iPads, etc. So hopefully this comes out really good. Tyres, again, lots of tread. Alloy wheel, looks in absolutely fine condition as well. Oh, I didn't show you inside the car, apologies. I'm losing a bit of the light, so apologies there. Right, so half leather interior is standard on the Avantgarde, in really good condition. Adjustable height seats, so these had something called a seat comfort package, where you had a driver's adjustable height on the driver and the passenger, and then you've got this extra dial here that tilts up the front of the seat. Cruise control, speed limiter is standard. Bluetooth, there's your radio on there. I think there's a bit of glare coming through, but I think I had it on. There you go, it's all working absolutely fine. 7-speed CVT, so constantly variable transmission. There is that lovely louvered roof. Okay, if I just see if I lean over, and probably, so you can tilt the front bit open, or you can open all, I think it's 5 sections of glass. I'll leave that open actually. Lovely. Makes it really nice and airy, even though you've got a light headlining in this car, makes it even more airy. So we have got auto dimming rear view mirror. As I mentioned, you've got cruise control, speed limiter, you've got Bluetooth for your phone, got all your functionality that you need on the steering wheel, and then there's that mileage. I've personally done that 108 miles in the car myself. I tend to drive all of my cars. Just to sort of get an idea what the cars are like, really, to be fair, and this is lovely. So you can see the mileage there as well. Automatic headlamps, rain sensing wipers, 4 electric windows, and auto folding mirrors. God, this is going to go on more than 10 minutes. Apologise for all you out there watching this video. but it is a lovely car. Really is. You've got the original Mercedes-Benz velour mats in it. I've done this passenger side. Let's just quickly do the inside as well. Got this really nice brushed aluminium trim that you'll get on the Avantgarde as well. Back seats don't even look like they've been sat in. Really don't. Hopefully you can see it's all really nice and clean. It's really good condition. Show you the passenger side. Hope you can try and pick that up. And then I'll show you obviously the passenger seat. And then you can see the driver's seat there, slightly better view, so you can have a look to see there's no kind of tearing, fraying, ripping, anything like that. Now I mentioned you've got a seat comfort package, so you've got the same thing on the passenger side. So you've got height adjustment and the adjustment on the front part of the seat, but you've also got lumbar support on the driver, and you've got lumbar support on the passenger as well. Air conditioning, super nice and ice cold. You've got your sports functionality for the gearbox as well, the button down there. Right, look at the time. So, alloy wheels. I think this is the only one that had a tiny little scuff on it, just there. We've touched it up, by the way, it's tiny, but we touched it up. Tyres all look fine condition, and that's your front parking sensors as well. Hopefully, not too sure how much of a reflection you're going to pick up, but believe me, it's lovely, really is. So, front of the car, probably the worst bit you'll get on most cars, really, especially cars with this kind of acute sort of 45-degree angle to the nose. You've got a few stone chips that are along the bottom of the bonnet bumper. We've touched them all up, and there's probably about a dozen or so along the bonnet itself. So along around here, the leading edge, and a couple dotted around the rest of the car. Okay, probably the worst one is probably one just over here. I'm not too sure if you'll pick it up. It's just in front of my nail. If I'll zoom in there, we have touched it up, but that's probably about the worst stone chip that we've got on the car. There we go. 13 minutes of your life you're not going to get back, eh? Sorry, apologies for that. Anyway, lastly, just want to mention about the warranty. We offer you 6 months warranty with all of our cars. They are a comprehensive warranty. 2 different companies we use. We tell you the pros, the cons, etc. We tick as many boxes as we can. Your claim limit isn't kind of this, you know, £250. It's the cost price of the car, and also not only that, it's done like 100% contribution, so nothing that the customer has to pay apart from the first £75, which is your excess fee. So apologies, 13 minutes. There's probably a few of you laughing at me now. Anyway, if you're interested in this car or anything else at Mopart Vehicles, please don't hesitate to give me a call, send me an email, send me a text, do whatever you want to do. I'll always get back to all of my customers. Not everyone replies, but I understand everybody's busy nowadays, but I will reply to every customer. May not be within the first 10 minutes, but I'll definitely do it within the hour. All right, thank you again, and hope to speak to you soon. Bye bye.